Sang-won lives in Seoul. One day, he and his girlfriend Minsuk meet with a real estate agent to look at a house priced at 700 million won. The house can be purchased as long as they can pay a down payment of 140 million won. Unfortunately, they are still short by 300 million, so they are forced to postpone their dream for now. Afterward, they return to their small rented home. The two of them have been dating for 9 years. Sang-won works as a civil servant, while Minsuk is an accounting manager at a company. She has always managed Sang-won's finances carefully, which means he can never hide his spending from her.
통장에 50이 비더라?
Sometime later, Sang-won visits his father at his request. His parents have lived in poverty ever since Sang-won was young, and he has always blamed his father for their financial struggles. During the visit, his father hints that he is about to pass something important on to him. He tightly grips Sang-won's hand for a few seconds, and suddenly the world seems to shake as something strange flows into his body. Right after that, his father shoots a nail straight into his forehead. Shockingly, Sang-won heals instantly without any injury. His father then reveals the truth. Through that physical contact, he has transferred a hereditary superpower to his son. This transfer also marks his retirement, allowing him to receive a pension. Before parting, he warns Sang-won to keep this power a secret and to use it only to help others quietly. There is one important rule. The power can only be activated using cash. Every time it is used, small coins appear as change. Only then does Sang-won realize that this power is also responsible for his ability to heal. From that moment on, his life would never be the same again. Welcome to Kashero. Not long after, Sang-won breaks his father's warning and tells Minsuk everything. He demonstrates his ability, showing that it requires physical cash to work. In that moment, he bends a metal object with ease, but it costs him 10,000 won in cash. Seeing this, Minsuk starts calculating the cost of his power. Activating it requires at least 10,000 won. Using 20,000 won doubles the power, and using 100,000 won increases it tenfold. She quickly realizes that this ability is nothing but a financial disaster waiting to happen. Because of that, she forbids Sang-won from using it, afraid he will lose all his money. This puts him in a difficult position, especially since his father told him to use his power to help others. Still, he chooses to listen to Minsuk so they can save for their dream home. From then on, Sang-won avoids physical effort as much as possible. Minsuk worries that even small movements could activate his power and waste money. As a result, his co-workers begin to notice that he has changed from a helpful person into someone distant and indifferent. As time passes, Sang-won buys a second-hand PlayStation 5 with Minsuk's permission. She had once promised to buy him one if he agreed to marry her. After completing the purchase, he witnesses a man being brutally attacked by a group of thugs. Even though it pains him, he walks away. Using his power would mean losing his remaining cash, and he simply cannot afford it. The next day, Sang-won's mother gives him 30 million won from her savings group. With that money, he finally has enough to cover the down payment for the house he dreams of owning with Minsuk. While talking, his mother notices that Sang-won has developed the same skin condition his father once had. It turns out his father had been hiding his powers from her all along. She then shares that she and Sang-won's father are planning a trip to Spain. It seems his father plans to use his retirement money to fund the vacation. After leaving his mother, Sang-won calls Minsuk to tell her they finally have enough money for the down payment. However, he suddenly stops when he witnesses a serious traffic accident. At that moment, Sang-won faces a painful dilemma. A bus is about to fall into the river, and he must choose between saving his hard-earned 30 million won or using it to save lives. In the end, empathy wins. He spends all the money to activate his power and manages to pull the bus back to safety, saving everyone inside. Afterward, he notices something strange. The skin condition he had is suddenly gone. Later that night, a woman named Hwa Jin is chased by a group of dangerous men. Once she realizes there are no security cameras nearby, she activates her hidden power. With control over fire, she easily defeats her attackers. Not long after, a wealthy woman named Anna appears. She is the leader of the group that was chasing Hwa Jin. Knowing Hwa Jin's weakness, Anna orders her team to create artificial rain. Unable to use her fire ability, Hwa Jin is captured alive. She is taken to a laboratory where Anna inspects her unconscious body. It is revealed that Hwa Jin's powers have been completely extracted by Anna's scientists. turning her into a normal human. Soon after, Anna orders one of her subordinates to inject her with a serum containing Hua Jin's extracted power. At the same time, a man named Ho-in is talking with his friend Yun-mi. They discuss a viral video showing Sang-won pulling a bus on his own. Based on the scene, Ho-in realizes that Sang-won must have a power fueled by money. Ho-in also knows Sang-won's father, Dong-gi. Realizing the danger, Ho-in and Eun-mi decide to search for Sang-won to protect him from those who want to exploit his ability. Meanwhile, Sang-won is being held at a police station. Even though he has done nothing wrong, he chooses not to fight back when other detainees bully him, fearing his power might be exposed. Remembering what Dong-gi once said, Sang-won contacts a woman named Jong-ja for help. While driving him home, Jong-ja reveals that she knows Dong-gi very well. In fact, Dong-gi owed her 3 billion won, and that debt has now been passed on to Sang-won. She then reveals her true intentions. Jong-ja captures Sang-won and takes him to a remote location. She hands him cash and orders her men to beat him, hoping to confirm whether he truly inherited his father's supernatural power. Cornered and badly injured, Sang-won finally uses the cash given by Jong-ja to heal himself. With that same money, he unleashes a powerful strike that sends one of her men flying. However, the moment the money runs out, his strength fades, and his body gives in from exhaustion. Seeing him helpless, Jong-ja makes a tempting offer. She promises to erase his 3 billion won debt if he agrees to marry her daughter. In return, Sang-won would gain wealth, freedom to use his power, and protection from those hunting superhumans. Not long after, Sang-won realizes he still has a bit of cash left. Using it, he activates his power one last time and manages to escape. When he gets home, he finds Minsuk still awake. She has already seen the viral video of him stopping the bus and immediately understands how much money he must have spent. When Minsuk confronts him, Sang-won admits that the money came from his mother. She is deeply hurt after realizing he chose to spend 30 million won to save strangers instead of securing their future together. Unable to accept his choice, she decides to end their relationship. After Minsuk leaves, Sang-won is shocked when his house suddenly explodes in flames. He briefly spots a suspicious man named Hungi and realizes he is being hunted. With no other option, Sang-won flees and hides at his parents' house, which is empty since they have already left for Spain. The next day, Minsuk attends a friend's wedding at a hotel. Suddenly, an explosion rocks the building and a massive fire breaks out. When Sang-won hears the news, he remembers that Minsuk is there. Without hesitation, he rushes to save her. He withdraws a large amount of cash from his savings so he can activate his power. At the hotel, he carries out multiple rescue efforts, even stopping a massive falling structure that nearly crushes a young girl. Thanks to his actions, many trapped guests manage to escape safely. Just as Sang-won prepares to leave with Minsuk, Hungi appears. It turns out he was sent by Anna to capture Sang-won alive, and he is also the one responsible for burning down his house. With the little cash he has left, Sang-won fights back. Hungi proves extremely dangerous, using powerful fire-based abilities. Even after being knocked down, Sang-won pushes himself to stand again. And finally defeats Hungi with a surprise counterattack. It is later revealed that Sang-won used the wedding cash gifts meant for Minsuk's friend to regain his strength and survive the fight. Shortly after, Ho-in and Eun-mi arrive and help evacuate both Sang-won and Minsuk. At that moment, Ho-in reveals that he and Eun-mi are members of the Korean Superhuman Association. Just moments earlier, Sang-won had been desperately trying to grab the wedding gift money while Hyun-gi was closing in on Minsuk. Not long after that chaos, Sang-won wakes up inside Ho-in's office, where Ho-in works as a lawyer. Once he regains his strength, Ho-in reminds him that both he and Eun-mi are members of the Korean Superhuman Association. Ho-in explains his own ability next. He can pass through solid objects, but only after consuming alcohol. Meanwhile, Eun-mi possesses telekinesis, although the strength of her power depends on how many calories she has in her body. Soon after, Ho-in tells Sang-won about Mandan Vanguard. It is a secret organization led by Anna, created to hunt down superhumans. The group is extremely wealthy and powerful, making them nearly untouchable by the law. They also operate hidden facilities disguised as farms, where superhumans are tortured and experimented on. Ho-in then confirms that Hungi is a member of Mandan Vanguard and the one responsible for burning down Sang-won's house. Even worse, Sang-won has now become their primary target. Ho-in advises him to continue living normally, since hiding would only make him easier to track. Sang-won agrees to work together with Ho-in, believing that only he has the potential to stop Mandan Vanguard. The next day, Sang-won helps Eun-mi move heavy items as part of his physical training. This job is meant to strengthen his body naturally. Later, Ho-in trains him in boxing to improve his combat skills and efficiency in real fights. Not long after, Ho-in shows Sang-won the location of the farm used by Mandan Vanguard to torment superhumans. When the time is right, they plan to gather evidence there and bring the organization down legally. Soon after, Eun-mi gives Sang-won a special pair of underwear designed to hold large amounts of cash, which he can use to fuel his power. She also gives him a mask so he can hide his identity during missions. With this new equipment, Sang-won successfully takes down a group of criminals without being recognized. After dealing with the criminals, Sang-won returns to the rental home he now shares with Minsuk. They are officially married, and he plans to transfer ownership of his personal house to her. Together, they agree to start saving again so they can eventually afford their dream home. Meanwhile, Mandan Vanguard manages to retrieve Hungi, who is now undergoing recovery. On Anna's orders, Hungi is injected with another extracted superpower, granting him a second ability and making him even more dangerous. As time passes, Ho-in introduces Sang-won to an elderly man named Chai-min. This man possesses a rare ability that allows him to see a person's future simply by observing their face. Ho-in wants Chai-min to read Sang-won's future so they can understand whether he is truly ready to face Mandan Vanguard. In the end, Sang-won cannot fully understand the prophecy because Chai-min speaks only in metaphors. Shortly after leaving Chai-min's home, an explosion suddenly erupts nearby. It turns out to be part of an attack by Mandan Vanguard. Not long after, dozens of their members arrive at the scene, disguised as construction workers. Ho-in and Eun-mi fight back against the attackers, while Sang-won is urged to escape since he is their main target. Taking advantage of the chaos, Sang-won contacts Jongja and proposes a deal. She agrees to lend him a large sum of money after he promises to fulfill any request she makes in the future. What Sang-won does not realize is that Minsuk is one of Jongja's clients. At the same time, Mandan Vanguard manages to corner Ho-in, Eun-mi, and Chai-min. In that critical moment, Chai-min looks into the future and foresees Anna arriving at the scene. He also foresees her death in the near future. Enraged by this prediction, Anna shoots him on the spot. Sang-won steps in and deflects the bullet using his power. A fierce battle follows as he fights against Anna's subordinates. With a large amount of cash borrowed from Jongja, he can now activate his power freely. At the same time, Ho-in and Eun-mi fight with everything they have to hold the enemies back. The clash quickly turns intense and chaotic. Moments later, Hungi arrives, now wielding both fire manipulation and enhanced physical strength. With this overwhelming combination, he manages to push Sang-won into a corner. Refusing to give up, Sang-won uses the last of his remaining cash to stand again. He then unleashes a powerful strike that sends both of them crashing into another area. Sang-won leads Hungi toward a pool of water, hoping to weaken his fire abilities. Even so, Hungi continues fighting with his enhanced strength. Drawing on the coins scattered at the bottom of the pool, Sang-won reactivates his power and finally defeats Hungi for the second time. Not long after, Anna contacts Sang-won and asks him to speak with her father, Wando. It is revealed that Wando is the true leader of Mandan Vanguard and the head of a powerful corporation inherited by Anna. He offers to buy Sang-won's superpower, which he has long desired. Wando promises that Mandan Vanguard will stop hunting him until he makes a decision. Meanwhile, Ho-in and Eun-mi question what Sang-won discussed during that brief conversation. Shortly after, Sang-won visits his parents, who have just returned from their trip. He then tells them that he has married Minsuk. Not long after, Sang-won secretly speaks with his father, Dong-gi, about the possibility of selling his superpower to Mandan Vanguard. Knowing how dangerous the organization is, Dong-gi warns him that the deal could be a trap. As time goes on, Sang-won begins to feel that his power has only brought him endless financial trouble. At times, he even fears that his ability will eventually leave him completely broke, since every use drains his money. Seeking answers, Sang-won meets with Eun-mi to learn more about the sale of superpowers. Together, they secretly search Ho-in's office while it is empty. What they discover is deeply disturbing. Hidden documents reveal that many superhumans who disappeared were actually captured and had their powers extracted by Mandan Vanguard. They also find records showing that superpowers can be sold for tens or even hundreds of millions of won. One document clearly states that Sang-won's power must never be sold to Mandan Vanguard. Realizing that Ho-in hid this information, Eun-mi begins to resent him for keeping such a critical secret. Meanwhile, Wando and Anna discuss Sang-won. Wando is furious that Anna failed to capture him as ordered. He values Sang-wong's power greatly, believing that in the hands of someone as wealthy and influential as himself, it could become an unstoppable weapon. As time passes, Sang-wong finally contacts Wando and agrees to sell his power to put an end to his financial struggles. Wando accepts the deal and offers him 4 billion won. Sang-wong plans to use the money to repay his debt to Jongja, buy a home with Minsuk, and cover other important needs. Before ending the call, Wando promises to send the time and location of the transaction once everything is prepared. After that, Sang-wong spends time enjoying life with Minsuk without worrying about money. He even takes her up to a rooftop and gives her a wedding ring. During their time together, he hints that all their financial problems will soon be resolved, though he keeps his plan to sell his power a secret. The following day, Sang-wong returns to work at the public service office. While handling paperwork for an immigrant named Nathan, he is suddenly informed that the police are looking for him. Realizing the danger, he immediately tries to escape. Before the police can catch him, Sang-wong contacts Wando and asks to move the deal forward. Wando then directs him to a farm that serves as a front for a facility where superhumans are tortured. When Sang-wong arrives and attempts to enter, he is suddenly stopped by Ho-in. With urgency and concern, Ho-in warns him not to sell his power under any circumstances. Moments later, Eunmi arrives and confronts Ho-in for pretending not to know about the plan to sell Sang-wong's power. Tension quickly escalates, and a fight breaks out involving Sang-wong, Ho-in, and Eunmi. On one side, Ho-in tries to stop Sang-wong from going through with the sale. On the other, Eunmi attacks Ho-in in protest, refusing to let him interfere any further. Unbeknownst to them, Yongja's subordinates are watching from a distance. They were sent to stop Sang-wong from selling his power. Taking advantage of the chaos, Sang-wong manages to slip away and enter the facility. Inside, he discovers a laboratory used by Mandan Vanguard to experiment on superhumans. Following Anna's instructions, Sang-wong is prepared for an extraction procedure designed to remove his powers. This process is revealed to be the method used to sell superhuman abilities. Anna then shows him a large bag filled with cash, assuring him that he will receive 4 billion won once the extraction is complete. Everything appears ready for the procedure to begin. At that moment, Ho-in manages to infiltrate the area using his ability. He fires a shot towards Sang-wong in an attempt to stop the extraction and save him. Only then is it revealed that moments earlier, Ho-in and Eunmi had made peace and agreed to work together. Their goal was to rescue Sang-wong before it was too late. As the extraction begins, Anna reveals her true intention. She never planned to pay the 4 billion won and only wanted to steal Sang-wong's power. In response, Sang-wong makes it clear that his true goal has always been to bring down Mandan Vanguard so that superhumans can live without fear. At the perfect moment, Ho-in and Eunmi launch a coordinated attack. During the chaos, some of the cash spills from the bag, allowing Sang-wong to activate his power. With renewed strength, he defeats the security forces with ease. Soon after, he escapes alongside Ho-in. During their escape, an accident forces Sang-wong to abandon the 4 billion won when the bag becomes trapped. Even so, with Eunmi's help, they manage to get away safely. While fleeing, they examine the secret documents taken from the vault. These files reveal that Mandan Vanguard has been running illegal experiments using superhuman abilities. Shortly after, Ho-in discovers a letter addressed to Sang-wong. It turns out the letter was written by Nathan, who had already predicted that Sang-wong would escape with the documents. Using his position as a public servant, Sang-wong tracks down Nathan's apartment. With Ho-in's ability to pass through solid objects, they break inside. The apartment is empty, but from the location, Sang-wong notices several people jumping from a nearby building in a horrifying scene. Nathan is also present, acting as if he is orchestrating the entire incident. As time goes on, Ho-in officially becomes Sang-wong's lawyer during his interrogation by Detective Hyun-sung. The detective suspects that Sang-wong may be connected to both the bus accident and the hotel fire. This shows that Hyun-sung still does not realize those incidents were actually caused by Mandan Vanguard. After the questioning ends, Ho-in reveals that Hyun-sung was once a member of the Korean Superhuman Association. However, he eventually left after clashing with Ho-in over their beliefs. Meanwhile, Nathan is seen speaking with Anna. It turns out that Nathan is actually her younger brother. Their relationship has been broken since childhood, ever since Anna shot him near the ear. Not long after, Wando joins the two of them. Surprisingly, all three are ordinary humans. During their conversation, it is revealed that Nathan intentionally gave hallucinogenic drugs to several people, causing them to jump from buildings. This was all part of a clinical test for a drug developed by Mandan Vanguard. Nathan even admits that he deliberately lured Sang-wong into chasing him. Impressed by Nathan's abilities, Wando appoints him to take over the laboratory operations of Mandan Vanguard, replacing Anna. From that moment on, Anna grows even more resentful toward him. Back with Sangwon's team, Hoen uncovers new evidence connected to the people who jumped from the apartment building. They were all victims of Mandan Vanguard's experimental drug, which causes intense hallucinations and addiction. The drug is in high demand and is being prepared for mass distribution. Soon they learn that a woman named Hermes is responsible for supplying the drug to nightclubs. Their next mission becomes clear. They must capture Hermes and secure the drugs before they spread further. If the drug reaches the market, it could be used to clone superhuman abilities. The team heads to a nightclub where Hermes is known to appear. After splitting up to search the area, Sangwon eventually finds her. It is then revealed that Hermes is actually Suyeon, a scientist working for Mandan Vanguard. Once the area clears, she reveals her true power, the ability to move at extreme speed. She was also sent by Nathan to capture Sangwon. Using her speed, Suyeon overwhelms him, leaving him unable to land a single hit. Thinking quickly, Sangwon relies on his sense of hearing to predict her movements, and finally manages to strike back. As Suyeon escapes, he secures the bag of drugs she intended to deliver. Soon after, Nathan appears at the same location and watches from a distance. Using manipulation, he incites panic among the crowd, forcing people to fight over the bag. With Eunmi unable to help, Sangwon becomes overwhelmed and struggles to hold on to the drugs. At that moment, Yeon-sung and his police unit storm the club, causing everyone to scatter. Yeon-sung spots Sangwon, which only deepens his suspicion. Seconds later, Hoen uses his power to help Sangwon and Eunmi escape, preventing their capture. The team hides in an underground area beneath the club, still holding the bag of drugs. Because of the chaos, Sangwon misses a family gathering with Minsuk. Not long after, Hyun-sung finds him and places him under arrest. Meanwhile, Hoen returns to his office with Eunmi. Shortly after, Anna arrives. Enraged, Eunmi prepares to attack her in retaliation for everything she has done. However, she is forced to stop when one of Anna's men points a gun at her head. As time goes on, Yeon-sung interrogates Sangwon about the bus accident, the hotel fire, and the chaos at the farm gate. Sangwon insists that he is innocent, but without solid evidence, he is taken into custody. Not long after, Nathan visits him and reveals a shocking truth. Many of Sangwon's heroic actions were actually part of Nathan's larger plan from the very beginning.
살려주세요. 세상에는 그런 영웅이 필요하거든요. 그건 내 계획이라는 거야.
Days later, the police escort Sangwon to the courthouse for his sentencing. Along the way, he tries to break free, desperate to protect Minsuk from Nathan's threat. He stops only when a corrupt officer secretly hands him cash, hoping Sangwon will use his power to escape when the time is right. Moments later, the police vehicle is suddenly hit by a truck and crashes into a lake. As the car sinks, Sangwon uses the money to strengthen his body and barely manages to escape. When he reaches the surface, he is shocked to find Anna, Hoen, and Eunmi waiting for him. At the same time, Jongja's men successfully rescue Minsuk from the people sent by Nathan. Soon after, Anna reveals critical information. Since taking over leadership, Nathan has transferred all the superpower extraction vials to a secure vault inside Gimhae Bank. That location also holds key data tied to Mandan Vanguard's operations. Meanwhile, a regulatory agency is close to approving Nathan's new drug. If released, it could throw the world into chaos. That is why Anna asks Sangwon and his team to steal the vials, ensuring Nathan cannot distribute the drug. The team agrees, since stopping Nathan is already their goal. Before parting ways, Anna provides them with an access device to enter Gimhae. She believes their combined skills will allow them to break into the vault, which only Wando is supposed to open. Even so, the team decides not to follow Anna's plan completely, knowing she will likely turn on them once the mission is complete. Later that night, Minsuk confronts Sangwon about the massive debt he owes Jongja. She knows because she works for Jongja's company. She questions why he would risk his life on such a dangerous mission. Sangwon explains that this mission is his only chance to build a normal future with her. Hearing this, Minsuk finally agrees to support him. After that, Minsuk manages to convince Jongja to lend them 30 million won so Sangwon can use his power when the time comes. Jongja agrees because she also holds a deep grudge against Mandan Vanguard, especially after her company building was taken over and turned into the Gimhae Bank facility. As the mission approaches, Minsuk hands Sangwon the 30 million won as fuel for his power, preparing him for what lies ahead. When Sangwon arrives in Gimhae, he deliberately reveals his identity. Just as planned, the bank is quickly evacuated and sealed off, allowing Mandan Vanguard's security team to move in freely. At the right moment, Sang-won activates his power using the cash he brought with him. One by one, he takes down the security guards. With Eunmi's help, he even manages to turn the security team and Anna's forces against each other, since both sides are trying to capture him. This chaos allows Sang-won and Eunmi to search freely for Hoen. When the team finally reunites, Nathan suddenly appears and reveals that everything has been part of his plan. During the confrontation, Hoen uses his ability to throw Sang-won into another room. That room turns out to be the vault where Mandan Vanguard stores all of its cash. Since Sang-won's power grows stronger with more money, he quickly realizes what this means. Filled with confidence, he steps out of the vault, frees Hoen and Eunmi, and tells them to escape first. Using the massive amount of cash he carries, Sang-won becomes nearly invincible. Bullets can no longer harm him, and he easily takes down the remaining security forces. He even defeats Su-yeon without much difficulty. But just as he prepares to confront Nathan, something goes wrong, and he suddenly loses consciousness. When he wakes up, Sang-won finds himself handcuffed inside Hyun-sung's vehicle. Strangely, his powers no longer respond, even though he is still holding cash. Shortly after, Hyun-sung releases him after confirming that he is innocent. Before leaving, Sang-won warns him that Nathan is trying to sell a drug capable of cloning superpowers, a threat that could throw the world into chaos. Meanwhile, Yongja arrives at Gimhae Bank with her team and surrounds Anna and her followers. She secures a hidden document that proves Wando owes her an enormous debt. Jongja then contacts Wando directly and reminds him that his debt is far from settled. As time passes, Sang-won asks Donggi why his powers no longer work. Donggi explains that the problem comes from relying too much on money that does not truly belong to him. He hints that Sang-won's strength is not tied only to cash. At the same time, Hyun-sung recalls an important detail. He was able to arrest Sang-won earlier because Nathan chose not to interfere. Eventually, Sang-won returns home, only to discover that Minsuk is gone. Not long after, Nathan contacts Sang-won and reveals that Minsuk has been taken hostage. He warns that her life is in danger unless Sang-won comes to him immediately. As Sang-won struggles with fear and panic, Su-yeon appears and challenges him to a fight. If he wins, she will take him to Nathan. If he loses, both he and Minsuk will die. At this point, Sang-won's powers are still unstable, leaving him unable to fight properly. Just as he is about to be overwhelmed, Hoen and Eunmi step in and manage to take Su-yeon down through a combined attack. Once the danger passes, Eunmi reveals that Nathan is holding Minsuk inside a logistics building owned by Mandan Vanguard. Hoen immediately warns Sang-won not to go there, since the area is heavily guarded. Even so, Sang-won refuses to back down. He is determined to face any danger to save Minsuk. While heading toward the facility, Sang-won realizes something important. His power does not only come from money, it also comes from his determination to protect something truly precious. He begins to believe that his strength will return as long as his desire to protect Minsuk remains strong. Meanwhile, Hoen and Eunmi disguise themselves as logistics workers to support the mission from inside. In truth, Hoen intentionally tried to stop Sang-won earlier, so that his resolve to save Minsuk would grow even stronger. Without hesitation, Sang-won jumps from the rooftop of the logistics building, crashing down toward the level where Minsuk is being held. The impact leaves him badly injured and unconscious, yet his determination awakens his power once more. His body recovers, and he rises again, driven solely by his will to protect her. Once stable, Sang-won battles the security forces sent by Nathan. By combining a small amount of cash with his unwavering resolve, he defeats them one by one. After regrouping with Hoen and Eunmi, he rushes forward to reach Minsuk. Before he can reach her, Nathan shoots him, weakening his body even further. With no money left, Sang-won is unable to heal himself. Nathan then threatens to trap Minsuk inside an elevator rigged with explosives unless Sang-won agrees to surrender his power. As Sang-won searches for a way out, Hoen launches a surprise attack on Nathan. However, Nathan manages to fight back and shoots Hoen in return. In a desperate move, Sang-won forces both himself and Nathan into the elevator. After silently apologizing to Minsuk, he triggers the bomb, sacrificing himself to stop Nathan once and for all. Days later, news spreads about people across the city becoming violent due to the side effects of a drug released by Mandan Vanguard. Hoen watches the reports while recovering in a hospital, with Eunmi by his side. They reflect on the deaths of Sang-won and Nathan. Even through the pain, Hoen feels some relief knowing that Mandan Vanguard failed to claim Sangwon's power. He believes this means there is still hope to stop them for good. Once she recovers, Hoen visits Minsuk. She has fallen into deep grief after losing Sangwon. Seeing her pain, Hoen suggests that she seek help from Hyun-sung if she truly wishes to change Sangwon's tragic fate. It is then revealed that Hyun-sung possesses the ability to manipulate time. Not long after, Minsuk is confronted by Anna's men while searching for Hyun-sung. Not long after, Soo-yeon attacks Anna's subordinates, giving Minsuk the chance to continue searching for Hyun-sung. Soon after, Hyun-sung grants Minsuk the ability to travel through time for exactly 1 minute, so she can save Sangwon. However, he warns her that using this power will shorten her lifespan. Fully prepared to face the consequences, Minsuk travels back to the moment when Sangwon and Nathan are trapped inside the elevator filled with explosives. Time stands still, allowing her to move freely while everything around her is frozen. She quietly places cash into Sangwon's hand, so he can activate his power before the explosion occurs. Thanks to her sacrifice, Sangwon survives. However, the unexpected consequence is that Nathan also survives. When Nathan returns home, he is confronted by Anna. In the tense moment that follows, Anna attempts to kill him so she can reclaim her position. Instead, Nathan turns the situation around and kills Anna with the help of Soo-yeon. Not long after, Jongja and her team capture Wando for his financial crimes. As time passes, Soo-yeon uses her scientific knowledge to treat Nathan's severe injuries. In an attempt to fully restore him, she injects him with an extract of superhuman power. Nathan awakens completely healed. Shockingly, he immediately kills Soo-yeon to test his newfound strength. He then begins attacking residential areas using his ability to manipulate electricity. Just as he is about to harm a young girl, Sangwon steps in to stop him, leading to an intense and final confrontation. After a brutal battle, Sangwon finally defeats Nathan. Yet even then, Nathan manages to rise again and overpower the team. As all hope seems lost, the surrounding civilians step forward. They offer money and support, allowing Sangwon to regain his strength once more. Together, the team launches a final combined attack and brings Nathan down for good. Sometime later, Yongja escorts Wando to face legal consequences for his crimes. At the same time, Ho-in and Eun-mi are finally able to return to normal life. In the end, Sangwon and Minsuk achieve their dream of owning a home through a mortgage. Their happiness grows even further when Minsuk becomes pregnant. Together, they prepare to work hard and build a better future for their family. So the moral of the story is if your superpower runs on cash, you do not need a cape. You need a budget app, a lockbox, and a girlfriend who will audit your heroism like it is tax season.